The problem is, we are now in the fastest evolution of technology in human existence. At the same time, our gray matter is getting denser and harder to mold as we see fit, meaning it's harder to learn. Welcome to day one of reskilling as a millennial. See, if you're like me, you've turned 40 either this year, in the last 3 years, in the next 3 years, you'll probably turn 40. And as you may know, because you have friends just like I do, we're all over the place. Some of us are at the peak of our careers, some of us are just starting over, some of us are sending kids to college, while others are just now having one, sitting with the infant in our arms. The one thing that's common for all of us is that we are the true technology generation. We have seen literally every important technological advancement over the past 40 years. We were there when the internet came about. We were there when the phone's cord was literally cut. We were there when the Walkman was invented. We were there when AOL first came about. We were there when Netflix was still shipping DVDs. We were there when YouTube first came out, 2004, by the way. We were there when you had to meter your data or you had to text only in certain hours. We have seen it all. The problem is, we are now in the fastest evolution of technology in human existence. At the same time, our gray matter is getting denser and harder to mold as we see fit, meaning it's harder to learn. And what do they tell you? They tell you you need to upskill. You need to learn new skills so you can get better at the role you are in currently. And I say that as a lie. You don't need to upskill, you need to reskill. And I don't mean reskill as in learn new skills. I mean reskill as in recycle all the skills you already have in a strategic way that has a wider breadth than you're normally used to. I have a master's in professional counseling. I have a bachelor's in computer science. I have worked for an investment bank. I have raised venture capital. I have a mental health agency. I have run digital out of home companies. I have built up a domain expertise in multiple different areas. And what makes me valuable now, what I've been able to do over the last 365 days, is that I've been able to take all the right pieces of each one of these buckets and connect them in a way that creates real value. I'm recycling the skills I already have. If you have an idea that you want to bring to fruition, let's talk about it. If you have a pain point that you're trying to solve, let's talk about it. If you know something that's a very real problem that you want to attack, let's talk about it. I want to be able to create value and I want to do it efficiently. I want to be competitive. I want to be valuable. Don't want to become obsolete. I don't want to be left on the shelf. I'm not an elf. Day two of reskilling as a millennial. It's really important for you to get excited about learning again, not because you need to do it for your job or for a paycheck or for a business or for anything else, but just the pure sake of loving learning again, of playing with something new and it's sparking creativity in your mindset. If you have an idea that you want to bring to fruition, let's talk about it. If you have a pain point that you're trying to solve, let's talk about it. If you need some business consultation and you know something right now, right here, that's a very real problem that you want to attack, let's talk about it. I want to be able to create value in this world in a unique way, and I want to do it efficiently. I want to be competitive. I want to be valuable. Don't want to become obsolete. I don't want to be left on the shelf. I'm not an elf. Over the next 31 days, we're going to be talking about all the different ways that millennials can compete in this new day and age so that we don't become obsolete in the same way, and this is a theory, that the keyboard will become obsolete. Like, no, AI is a step too far. Like, I just heard that Detroit deployed a road that will charge a car as it drives over the top of it. My daughter grew up with an iPad with touchscreens, with technology in her hands. So she is a digital native. She, at this point, doesn't even have pen and paper homework. It is all on a computer. The generation behind her is going to grow up with AI embedded in absolutely everything that they do. They're going to pick and choose what their main modality is for their everyday usage. Just like there are only a few main cell phone companies, there's only a few telecom providers, there's only a few internet service providers, there's only going to be a few major AI agents. There's going to be ChatGPT, Claude, Gemini, Siri, and whoever the fifth will be, if there is a fifth. Beyond that, the way we interact with technology is going through an absolute evolutionary shift. Instead of us having to type on a keyboard or point and click with a mouse or touch a screen, we are going to be speaking and gesturing in order to communicate with our technology. Now, I'm not going so far as to putting the chip in my brain. That is for another generation, 100 years down the line. I'm not doing it. But at the end of the day, technology creeps forward. So you got to ask yourself, if I, as a millennial that has seen every technology iteration since the 1980s, seen it creep from one thing to the next, to the next, to the next, with a never ending acceleration and momentum, am I going to say to myself that it stops here? Like, no, AI is a step too far. Like, I just heard that Detroit deployed a road that will charge a car as it drives over the top of it. The level of technology coming out of China nowadays is, from an engineering perspective, phenomenal. The talent sitting on the continent of Africa, the population of Africa skews so young that they will be the dominant population on the planet, give it 20 years. Just from a coming of age perspective. These things don't stop. I have a long time to be dealing with this. Am I really, let's say I have another 40 years, just as a thought experiment. Do I think that AI is going to disappear in that time frame? Or do I think that the generation that is a digital natives, AI natives, that have freer thought forms, that are more creatively attuned to how to solve these problems, well, they'll solve the problems. They'll find a new energy source. Nuclear fission will get off the ground. The problems that are affecting AI today won't be the problems that affect AI tomorrow. So if you have an idea that you want to bring to fruition, let's talk about it. If you have a pain point that you're trying to solve, let's talk about it. If you know something right now, right here, that's a very real problem that you want to attack, let's talk about it so that we, as a generation, can take the baton from the boomers before us, really put our stamp on the world. Day 4 of reskilling as a millennial. So I've spent the last 365 days playing around with every relevant piece of technology that I can get my hands on. And over the next 31 days, I'm going to show you what works for me. And in that time frame, if you DM me, if you comment, if you send me a message, let me know what you want to work on. Let me know what problems you're trying to solve. Let me know what tools that you have found that are really cool. Let me know how you are reskilling as a millennial so that we, as a generation, can take the baton from the boomers before us, really put our stamp on the world, pass it to the next generation in a way that really pushes the planet forward in a positive way. So if you're ready to reskill as a millennial, make sure you check out the video tomorrow. Make sure you stay tuned and figure out exactly what it is that you want to create. What does 2026 look like for you? Start planning today.